All right, let's get some other perspective to the Revolution Now protest, and now being joined by Sunday Atta, who is the convener of Stand Up Nigeria, a group, of course, that is against the Revolution Now protest and has actually accused Amnesty International of supporting the Revolution Now protest. Sunday, thank you very much for joining us on the program. First off, what evidence do you have that Amnesty International is actually supporting the Revolution Now protest?
Thank you very much for having me. First of all, before I answer your question, let me use this medium to thank Nigerians for understanding the fact that revolution took place in this country on the 23rd of February 2019, when Nigerians in their masses, in their large number, trooped out to vote President Muhammadu Buhari without sentiment. And therefore, avoiding and boycotting the purported revolution protest called by Mr. Sowore. If you recall, you will understand that Amnesty International has not in any way or at any time appreciated the Nigerian security actors for doing good jobs even in the midst of insurgency. Nigerians were bedeviled with the Boko Haram menace many years ago, and this administration came and promised that they were going to do something about it, and I can categorically and boldly tell the whole world that the situation is not the same like it used to be when the PDP government were in power. I, as a person, has visited Maiduguri, have visited the northeastern part of this country many times to see situation for myself.
I understand your point. I understand your point, but what evidence have you got that Amnesty International is supporting the Revolution Now protest?
Well, just 2 days before that protest, one of the actors that Sowore wanted to use in organizing the Abuja protest or mobilizing for him. I was driving past the Amnesty International office at Maitama in Abuja, and I sighted him coming out of their office. And you see, you cannot be in a country that is not, that is governed by law, and you are supporting the enemies of the state.
But that you cited him coming out of the office does not mean he went there to get the support of Amnesty, because you just would not know what he actually, this individual actually went to Amnesty International office.
Right. You can also, recall that immediately Sowore was arrested, Amnesty International started calling for his release. And just yesterday, the court ruled, and Amnesty International also condemned the judgment of the court, meaning that they don't even have regard and respect for our judicial system in Nigeria. There are so many things to notice and from how Amnesty International operates in Nigeria, to say that these guys are nothing but against the state called Nigeria and teaming up with the enemies of Nigeria to disrupt the peace that we all enjoy in this country.
Now, we have also seen your group carry out some kind of demonstration or rally now in support of the government and actually opposing the Revolution Now group. Would you say what you are doing, your own rally, how is it different from what that of the Revolution Now group are doing? Because basically, they're also organizing rallies like you. It's just that you're not demanding the same thing.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you very much. You see, we, the Stand Up Nigeria organization, we have other sister civil society organizations that we work in partnership with. Many a times we have come together, sit together to analyze our issues in this country. And we have come to the conclusion that the only way forward for this country is for us to have a peaceful nation. We cannot call Ghana our country. Nigeria is our country. And so therefore, we will, press our point to the powers that be through the appropriate quarters and not through a revolution. We are going to dialogue, we are going to write, we are going to have series of meetings, we are going to do different kinds of, peaceful means of calling the government attention, rather than revolution. You know that the understanding, the meaning of revolution is removing a legitimate government and installing another government. The only group of people that have the right to call for revolution in a country are the National Assembly, and they have not done so. And so our group, we are not against the country, we are not against Nigeria, we are not against the president, because I consider any man, any woman that calls for a revolution in this country as the enemy of the country. Why?
The reason I asked you that question is because when you look at the action of your group and that of the Revolution Now group, you can just say there's actually no difference. The difference is in the message.
There's a lot of difference. There's a lot of difference. My group is not calling for an end to a government. The revolutionary movement said, they said in their press conference addressed by Mr. Sowore that Nigeria, he particularly said that DSS will cease to exist come 5th of August, that this government will cease to exist come 5th of August. Our group are not even in any form saying that Nigeria will cease to exist. Our group are in tune with what this administration is doing. Our group is in line with the agendas of this administration. Let me tell you something, my friend. This government is setting a very strong foundation, a foundation that will lead to the prosperity that we are looking for in this country. We have seen from all that this administration has put in place that we may not have it all rosy today does not mean it will not come tomorrow. What we need in this country that we have been emphasizing is good leadership and good foundation, which this administration is providing. So our group is not like the revolutionary group. No, we are here. Our group are for Nigerians, to tell Nigerians that the only way forward for this country is to be in to be in tune with the federal government. Where they get it wrong, we have our own way. We have a very amicable way of pressing our demand, not necessarily calling for a revolution.
Okay, now look, Nigeria is a democracy, and as you well know, I mean, in a democracy, one of the strongest tenets of democracy is that it gives room for freedom of speech, freedom of dissent. So if people are actually opposed to the government, shouldn't they be free now to come out and express their opinion? Because essentially that's what the Revolution Now group has done, and then the government decided to clamp down on it.
Well, since this matter began, I have addressed a lot of media press conferences and a lot of media houses, and I will not change what I stand for. It is the right of every Nigerian to protest. There is no argument about that. And one thing you must understand is that there is difference between protest and a call for revolution. Now, in 2012, we had a massive protest in this country. There were some quarters that were making utterances like revolution, but they didn't come out and target a revolutionary movement. They targeted Occupy Nigeria. And that went down peacefully. They did not call on taking over any government. They did not say that this institution will cease from existing. They did not call Nigerian names and stuff like that. So nobody climbed down on people that want to protest. No. Listen, my friend. Nigeria is not a banana republic. Nigeria has laws. And when this president came to power, one of the agendas they have before they came into power is security. Security was their #1 priority. So I applaud the government for taking the proactive, measure to climb down or to arrest the leader of the revolutionary movement, because you see, we do not know who was sponsoring that man or who was pushing him to do all that he was set to do. He told us Nigerians that he's going to lead a revolution, that he's going to remove this system and bring a new system. There's an adage in my place that says that when a blind man says, "I'm going to stone you," it's an indication that his leg is already on the stone. So the government did what every reasonable government would have done by arresting Sowore. You can't say this in America and you are not arrested. You can't say this in Russia and you are not arrested. You can't say this even in Ghana and you are not arrested. Nigeria is not a country where you can say anything and anything goes. A lot of people believe that Nigeria is a place where anything comes and anything goes. But this administration has made it clear that nothing comes and nothing goes like they have thought. So it is rather pathetic for those that have sponsored this young man to cause unrest in this country to now know that whatever their plans are, they couldn't achieve it with Nnamdi Kanu, so they recruited Sowore. So whoever they recruit, this government has the interest of Nigerians at heart, and they cannot afford to watch what happened to Libya happen to us in this country.
All right, Mr. Sunday Atta, convener of Stand Up Nigeria, thank you very much for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much.
We'll take a short break and we'll be right back. On Deji 360, we don't just ask the questions. What is wrong with amending the Constitution the way the National Assembly members have been doing it? We seek answers.
Constitution is constituent.
Our problem is not lack of laws. Our problem is lack of the willpower to implement our laws.
Answers that provide clarity.
While we negotiate, we should try to make it a point that the girls must be complete.
The clarity you need to make informed judgment so that you can make the right decision and take action. People are saying it is you politicians that are responsible for this, that you are the reason why this is happening.
All these dollars that call themselves governors in this country.
I wish we had people like Tony at the National Assembly.
God forbid that I go to join that
Deji 360, providing clarity to issues.